is up, YouTube adventure family? Woo! I've been pumping out videos like crazy. I've been busy as a beaver. Speaking of beavers, in the last video on the review of the Goat Power Bikes, Power Goat, I showed you some beaver dams. Anyways, today we're going to talk about why get an e-bike, why ride an e-bike, why e-bike, why? Well, we're going to hop on my favorite e-bike. This is the Rave GTX. This bike is amazing. It's my favorite one. I mean, I've got tons of range. It's got dual suspension. It's got great tires. It's got a really cushy seat. It's got a thumb throttle. It's just super fun to ride, and it's a basic. There's not a lot of crazy gears and stuff to it. It's just a super fun bike, and it's black. So we're going to take this bike out. We're going to talk about why e-bike. Why e-bike? If you haven't, you should. And if you don't like e-bikes, it's probably because you haven't. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm a motorcycle guy. I'm a crotch rocket guy. I'm a dirt bike guy. I've had all these things, and now I've got multiple e-bikes. Let's put it that way. So we're gonna hop on the Rave Bullet GTX, and we're gonna talk about why e-bike. Let's go. All right. Ooh, the sun is coming out. I thought it was gonna rain there for a minute. Let's click this on mode 3 and get scooting on up the road. And let's talk about some things. It's a little windy out. This time of year, we actually get rain and we get wind and all those fun things. And the wind is no exception right now. Wow. Good thing we get the windscreen to at least muffle some of that. Otherwise it'd be just raging. I mean, it rages my ears, so anyways. These brakes are just awesome on this Rave GTX. This whole bike is just really awesome, and e-biking in general is awesome, and I love it. And we're going to talk about not only about my favorite e-bikes and the bikes that I've got a little bit, but we're going to talk about why I e-bike, why you should probably e-bike. If you haven't, is probably the only reason you don't like it. Because there's a lot of options out there now, price-wise, performance-wise, quality-wise, just a lot of options. And there's a lot of companies out there now that offer great customer support, parts. And there's people like me that know a little bit how to fix these things. Like today, I actually bled some brakes on a Super 73S Adventure of a friend that lived up the road, and got her back on her e-bike, feeling safe about it, you know? Mop this back down to mode 2 since we're on the bike trail. Wow, it's just crazy windy. Just crazy. I mean, even if you can see like the little flags just blowing. Even if I slow down, it's like just coming in from the west. Crazy. So talking is kind of weird when you're talking in the wind. But yeah, like just the technology with these things are getting better. The consistency, the performance. These companies are coming out with version 2s and version 3s of a lot of their, their flagship models even. And they're only getting better, and a lot of those improvements that I'm seeing anyway are like in your suspension, your brakes, your tires, and even your performance, better controllers. So we're seeing like a lot of like upgrades from version 1s to version 2s. And that's exciting, man. You know, that's a lot of things happening, making it easier for the e-biker. That is for sure. And why I e-bike, honestly, I'll be straight up with you. Why I e-bike? Because I wouldn't be biking. I wouldn't bike. Like, you know, people are like, why don't you just bike? Well, I wouldn't. So there's that. And I'm just going to make it easy in a nutshell. The reason I wouldn't, because even though it's a low impact sport, it's pretty hard on my knee. That's why I snowboard. Because years and years and years ago, I'm not going to go into detail, but I dislocated my knee. And like, it agitates me at times if I use it too much, even like hiking, coming downhill or whatever. Not uphill, but downhill. Like meniscus issues probably, who knows. But I e-bike a lot and don't pedal a lot straight up. Because I wouldn't bike at all and my left knee sucks. So there's that. But what e-biking allows me to do is it allows me, here's the Eagle River raging now. I've seen some kayakers and paddleboarders coming down through here. I used to kayak down through there. But that hurts my knee. Sitting in that kayak and paddleboarding, I mean, it just does things, you know, on big water anyway. I could do it on mellow water. But those things they bother my knee. So that's why I e-bike and not bike. And so there, mystery solved for you there. Ha ha. But why e-bike? Man, because it gets you out. It gets you out in nature. It gets you going. It gets you flowing. Let's go up this road. I haven't been this road in a long time. But what it did for me was during COVID, I ordered an e-bike. It was like a foldable little 750 watt, 48 volt. I think it had like a 13 amp hour battery or whatever. It was an Ingway Pro 2 Pro, whatever. Little orange one. It's cool. Cool little e-bike. But what that did during COVID, it got me out of the house, man. I was doing like artwork and I was just constantly doing artwork and selling that like crazy. So I had income. I was blessed to have income, blessed to do it from home. So I got me a coon hound, a blue tick coon hound named Ellie Mae, and I got me an e-bike because public transportation was stupid. You had to wear a mask and all that stuff, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, I think that's just silly. Whatever. So, what's that? That looks kind of cool. I used to dog sit in this house directly across from here. A dog named Turbo. I used to dog sit a little English bulldog. Ain't that pretty cool down through there? But yeah, so e-biking. Why e-bike? I mean, it's for a lot of reasons, but you know, mainly what started it was, you know, I don't like driving a car, to be honest with you. I've driven one my whole life and I've had to drive hours and hours, you know, an hour to work, an hour back for a decade, and catering everybody around, and now I only drive if I've got to haul lumber, big bag of dog food, whatever, or if there's a blizzard out, or go to Vail snowboarding, whatever. But I don't drive a lot. I just don't. So, e-biking here, because we have just the greatest biking trail system in the world, honestly. 65 miles of non-stop bike trail or bike access from basically from Breckenridge all the way to freaking Glenwood Springs. Go up this way. So we got bike path forever. I mean, I don't have the battery to last that long one way, much less back and forth, so I'm not going to run out of bike path. So if I ever feel like just jumping on the bike night or day, honestly, and night rides up here in the summer are just awesome. It does get a little cool, but you know, wear like a full face helmet with a clear face mask and jacket and gloves, man. Night rides up here are just a hoot. I've even seen a bear and deer and fox, coyote, and stuff like that at night too, night riding. So it's super cool to night ride. So e-biking to me is, one, it's transportation. Two, it's just the fun factor is just, man, you get you a good e-bike like this right here, like a 52 volt, you start getting into that range, 40, even some of the 48 volts. You start getting into that range at 52 volt, you'll see, you get a little bit of pep when you hit that throttle. It's a little bit, you know, nothing too crazy, nothing like the Power Goat, you know, 60 volts of, you know, you hit that throttle, you freaking know it. And I suggest you be experienced before you get anything really above 48 volt. But anyway, let's go on down through here. This is cool. I love going through here. Oh yeah. God, I love this thing. And the brakes are just amazing. Hydraulic brakes, you've got to get those. You've got to get them. You've got to get hydraulic brakes. You got to get them. You got to get them. But why e-bike? Like I said, I do mine for transportation, going to the store, errands, so on and so forth. But a big part of it, honestly, is that I just hate to freaking drive. Just hate driving a vehicle. And I'll tell you what I found out getting an e-bike too, is coming out of COVID and people started getting out and everything. I mean, look at that bike. Isn't that thing just beautiful? It's just so sexy. I mean, that bike is just so cool. When you get a bike like this, it's cool. You know, it's got dual batteries, it's got great brakes, it's got great tires, dual suspension, it's got good speed, it's got good torque. Dependable. That's a big thing too. Company's been around for a while now, and they've got version 2s of their bikes and stuff, and they've been around. They know how it is. I know those guys extremely well. That's why I go with this brand. That's why I go with Rave. That's why I go with Goat. You know, I don't know what 72 volt version I'm going to get yet for a dirt bike, like an off-road dirt bike, and a legit dirt bike. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Goat Dirt is kind of what I'm looking at. Check that out. Just love showing off my bike. Get you a bike you like to show off. Get you a bike you enjoy riding. That's huge too, you know, because when I first got an e-bike, I'd got one that was okay looking, you know, it was okay, but I could afford it. That was a big thing. I could afford it, you know, and I think that's a big thing with a lot of people. Can they afford it? You could now get an e-bike you could afford that looks good. I mean, you can get this bike right here. I'll put a link below, but you can get this bike right here without this battery right now for $18.99, and then you could save even more money if you use my coupon code Colorado Adventure with Rave. You can save even more money than that and get you this bike well under $2,000 shipped and everything, and have you 52 volts, 1,000 watt motor, great tires, dual suspension, all the bells and whistles now for well under $2,000. That's crazy. Crazy. Anyways, why e-bike? Well, for one, as I mentioned, with the transportation and just getting out and having fun, that's huge to me, is parking. When I got out from COVID and everything started opening up again, like the farmers market, things like that, the concerts, the live music shows over here in Avon at Nottingham Park, in Vale at Ford Park, Minturn. You know, when these shows started coming up and music started coming up in farmers market and all these things are so fun to park compared to a car. You can pull right up to Gore Creek literally during the farmers market in Vale on Sundays and park right there and walk around, jump back on your bike and jet home. And parking's not an issue, even in the GoPro games in Vale. I mean, it's amazing. And like these big concerts, these big shows, like the 4th of July last year, Mitch, my neighbor, and I, we went down, a group of us went down and had the 4th of July, well, 3rd of July, whatever, that they do it the day before at Nottingham Park, completely jam-packed with people. And we just pulled our e-bikes up, chained them up right there within just a short walking distance where everybody had to park and walk far, far away. So the convenience factor, so you've got transportation, fun factor, convenience of parking factor, and I mean, just freaking awesome. There's a lot of other reasons, you know, but I'm not going to get into them. Those are the 3 reasons that I do it, you know, and you should dabble in the reasons why you should maybe do it. And if you do it, why you should maybe get another bike. Maybe you need to upgrade from your, you know, your 36 volt, you know, pedal assist only, you're ready to go that 48 volt, or maybe you got that 48 volt and you want to go that 52 volt and getting something with a little bit more pep. 60 volt and those kind of things, that's another level to me, and I'm not going to dabble into that because right now I'm just talking about getting into e-bike. Why e-bike? And in the bigger cities, it's even kind of a bigger thing, right? Like in the cities, like where you got lots of traffic and not lots of places to park cars and just crazy stuff. And e-bikes just seem to be legit there. They even have big group rides like in Los Angeles and New York. You know, they have in Denver, they have these big group rides with these e-bikes and stuff and all these personal electrical vehicles, you know, the scooters. It's freaking awesome. It's just super cool to have these things, and there's so much fun, just the stress relief, the things that it does for me as far as just relaxing is cruising down through here. I mean, look at this. That's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that just gorgeous? It's beautiful. It relieves my stress. It makes my day better. It's absolutely one of the best things, honestly, that's ever happened to me besides like snowboarding and dirt biking, of course, motorcycles, sports, basketball, baseball, watching football, things like that. Those are great things that have happened in my life too, but this is one of those things, especially at this point in my life, you know, being a freaking half century old. My birthday's coming up in, hold on, what day is it? In like 3 more days? Monday, the 20th, that's my birthday, so I'm coming up, I'm gonna be another year older. I'm not getting any younger, and having something like this is super awesome. It's just super awesome having an e-bike, that dual suspension, the big tires and stuff like that. It's a big cushy ride, that big old soft seat for my old butt. E-bikes. You should dabble in them if you haven't, and if you have, maybe upgrade or maybe customize, get you some new grips, some new pedals, something, make yours look good, you know. Enjoy this, man. It's a lot of fun. The fun factor on these things is a 10 out of 10, okay? The convenience factor of parking is a 10 out of 10. The transportation part, that's up to you and where you live. I don't know where you live. If you live out in the middle of the country, then you might want to get something more dual suspension, bigger balance, more like a Talaria, a Suron, or something like that, or a Goat power bike, or a Goat dirt bike. But yeah, something like this right here, I could take this anywhere. I could take this on a dirt gravel road. I could take it camping when we go camping up at Homestake with my friends. I could take it, you know, as long as I obey the rules, I could take it on the bike path. And it's fast enough and peppy enough to take on the side of the road and keep up with like local slow traffic going like 25, 35 miles an hour. I could keep up with traffic. So it kind of hits, this bike right here hits all the check marks, I guess, for me, you know. And then there's other bikes for other people where they'll hit all the check marks for them and for you. Do your research. If you have a question, leave a comment below, ask me. I'd love to help you find that e-bike for you. I love answering the comments, ask everybody. I answer my comments always within a day or two, you know. I love doing it. This is my hobby. This is what I do. It's my YouTube channel, is really doing adventures, and these adventures include snowboards in the winter and how to take care of them, do those things. But in the summer, in the spring, and the fall, and even in the winter, e-bikes are a big part of my life because it's how I get around, how I do things, you know? And I ride a lot. I put thousands and thousands of miles on these things a year, and I know what's good and what's bad and all those things with these things and e-bikes. I even know how to fix the doggone things. But anyways, I just love showing this bike off. I just do. The tires really pop it off. I mean, it almost looks like some little military type bike or something, some like G.I. Joe something. I don't know. I really love it. Anyways, I'll quit rambling and bambling. But check out these e-bikes. Check out these videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos circling around. You know, there's a lot of YouTube videos of these guys going around and riding different types of e-bikes, so on and so forth. I like these bench seats. I like the softer seats. I don't like the normal bicycle style, you know, for reasons. And maybe you like that style or whatever. Like I said, there's 30 good ways to make a pizza, and Baskin-Robbins has a bunch of flavors for a reason. Not everybody likes vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Otherwise, the only flavor served would be Neapolitan. Anyways, this is Chris from the Colorado Adventure Channel talking about why e-bike. Why e-bike? There's my answers. And you've probably already answered your own as well during this long blah, blah, blah video. Until our next adventure, this is Chris. Peace.